What are the signs that scream, "My mental health is not okay"? Self-harm, but in unusual places. When people notice your wounds, you can justify them. I'm like that. When I'm mentally struggling, I tear my lips to shreds. But it's easy to hide with makeup or explain by saying they're just chapped. When you don't want to live, but you don't want to die either. You just want to be nowhere. To be in a dark void, feeling no emotions. In such moments, I notice one thing about myself. I stop listening to music. It's like all I want to hear is silence and nothing else. In my case, when my house gets dirty and messy, dishes pile up, dirty laundry lies on the floor, the trash can overflows. I usually keep track of all this daily and weekly, but sometimes the state of my house makes it clear that a depressive period has crept up on me. Frequent job or relationship changes, manic encoded messages on social media, sudden changes in appearance or behavior. It's easier to just get rid of social media accounts. Reddit is useful because you can vent here without your acquaintances seeing it. I can't be around people without feeling maximum anxiety. I can't concentrate. I've become irritable. Lost 30 kilograms and don't eat anymore. Hygiene hasn't suffered, except for shaving. I can't motivate myself to do simple chores around the house, which I usually don't mind doing when I feel good. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to answer phone calls. I don't want to participate in any activities. I just want time to stop. That's me when dark times come. I just want to eat, sleep, and watch TV. Everything else exhausts or irritates me. I don't want to see friends, talk to anyone, nothing at all. Just leave me alone. When a person doesn't shower for 5 days, lays in bed for 2 months. When a person doesn't maintain hygiene. Yep, I sometimes stop brushing my teeth before bed, but that's a sign for me to go to the gym again and start taking care of myself, pampering myself. When a person stops contacting others. A friend of mine thanked me for always bothering him when he stopped communicating. It saved his life. I don't leave my room except for work or to eat, and even then I usually wait until no one is around so I can eat alone. I work from home, so I understand you. I can't stand going to the office once a year. And when I'm in a state like now, I don't let my husband watch me eat. But sometimes I have to leave my 4 walls. The other day, I sat alone in a restaurant and enjoyed my meal. Sometimes I can be my best company. I have a habit. Every time I remember something nice about one of my friends or relatives, I send that person a message with a heart. I don't expect anything in return and don't plan any further communication. I'll tell you, people absolutely love it. Most of the time, I get a little heart or smiley in response. Sometimes I lift someone's spirits for the whole day. Sometimes we really need something like that. When a person loses interest in their hobbies, that very sign made me realize how bad I felt. I was insanely bored, but despite having many favorite hobbies, I couldn't make myself do anything other than sit on my phone. What a mess. When you ask someone how they're doing, and they reply emotionlessly, living the dream, or, disappointedly, still breathing. Sudden changes in character and or spending habits. I can confirm the spending habit. I keep buying different things, hoping they'll make me happy or bring joy, but they never do. When a person doesn't respond to messages or takes longer than usual to respond, cancels plans, isolates themselves, gains weight, neglects hygiene. Unfortunately, high-functioning depression doesn't scream for attention. It almost never shows itself. We just come home and cry in the shower every damn day. Or we just constantly feel empty. Everyone has different manifestations. When a person excessively oversleeps, often neglecting other duties for sleep. This is a very important sign, and I think it's often overlooked. For me and many of my close friends, excessive sleep is sign number 1, especially when it interferes with living. My cuticles tell it all. Same here. My nails show my mental state. That constant poker face and dark sarcasm from someone who's usually cheerful. When being an absolute jerk becomes a characteristic trait, these people are the hardest to help. Excessive apologies. You don't need to apologize 15 times to someone you barely brushed. Unfortunately, I tend to do this. When a person feels the need to always do something in the presence of others, like a guy or girl who can never stay home on weekends. Oh, I understand that. I used to blame myself for wasting weekends sitting at home. I was also very afraid to say no. So I agreed to a lot of things I didn't actually want to do, which eventually led to burnout. When there's no news from a person for a long time, and then you visit them, and their home looks like a hurricane passed through. I try to explain to my family that this depression is the worst. I don't shower. I don't brush my teeth. I wear the same nightgown for several days in a row. I don't care about cleanliness in the house or dirty dishes. I have OCD, and I can't even clean up to calm down. Constant desire for silence and solitude. I'd prefer not to exist at all. Solitude and isolation are my comfort. Who would want to be around a miserable person? When a person suddenly becomes extremely generous or behaves completely differently, always ready to chat, cheerful, buying gifts for everyone, or giving away things, even though they never used to do that. If it's not related to moving, they're probably planning to leave this world soon. My father behaved this way before he committed suicide. After immigrating to the US, he worked very hard to provide us with a good life. We grew up very poor, but he did his best to give us a good life. Unfortunately, life circumstances were hard to control. Before he left, there was a period when he spent quality time with us and pampered us. Later, as a teenager, I realized this was his way of saying goodbye to us. A dirty kitchen. That's me right now, looking at my dishes. I was going to wash them a few hours ago, but went on Reddit to delay it. I cry a lot at night and pick at my nails to the point where my fingertips bleed. Oh, and I have a bunch of broken teeth. Fortunately, the ones that aren't visible yet. But recently, I bought new glasses and threw away the old broken ones I wore and hated for the past year. I'm trying to claw my way out. I do only what I need to do. Wake up, shower, go to work, clean the house, do yard work, have dinner, shower, go to bed. On weekends, I just lie on the couch and do nothing. I can't stand society. One of my favorite hobbies used to be fishing/hunting, but now I can't do it. Everywhere I go, there are people who don't follow any etiquette. Panic attacks. I had one on the highway. I planned to take a small day trip alone. Ended up disappointed, but I'll try again in a few weeks. I'm really upset because I really wanted to go, but this damn anxiety. A huge sign of loneliness is how grateful a person is for everything. Chronically lonely people lack love, have very low self-esteem, so when you say something nice to them, they feel cared for. But more importantly, they feel like someone who can be cared for. If a person is literally glued to their phone, in my case, it's a sign that I'm trying to distract myself. I also unconsciously rub behind my ear when talking on the phone, causing the skin there to flake. It's like picking at your scalp, but behind your ears. I tell my hairdresser it's eczema, so she doesn't think I'm weird. Strangely, I have a good life. I'm just a wimp. Or maybe I have an undiagnosed neurodivergence. Obvious signs: rapid weight loss, gain, or similar physical changes, e.g., unkempt appearance, poor hygiene, etc. Less obvious signs: the person starts being late more often than usual, especially in the mornings. This indicates excessive sleepiness. They have constant fatigue. They frequently zone out. They don't contribute to conversations. Just listen and nod, along with what others say. They speak less than usual. It's hard to make plans with them. They often cancel group plans and/or leave first. bloodshot eyes, puffy face, etc. All these indicate the person has been crying recently. My math teacher usually came to school looking like he dressed under a desk. One morning I'll never forget. He wore 2 different shoes, one black and one light brown, which were also worn incorrectly. Left shoe on the right foot, right shoe on the left. His shirt was half tucked, hair tousled, and there was a stain on his collar from some liquid. You know how he justified his appearance? I dressed in the dark this morning, mixed up my shoes, and accidentally grabbed a dirty shirt. As a teenager, I thought, what a slob. But growing up, it occurred to me that he likely went through a tough divorce and took it very badly. I still think about that teacher and wonder what really happened. I suddenly remembered my old math teacher. He was a retired football coach. Despite being a teacher, he often came to school looking unkempt, wearing mismatched socks. He was a calm and good teacher, but always seemed sad. I often wonder if he was okay. 1. A sudden increase or decrease in weight. If you see someone and think, they look really thin, it's likely due to a mental rather than a physical disorder. 2. A drastic change in appearance. Has someone shaved their head? Stopped shaving and their beard looks untidy? Do they look tense? 3. Changes in hygiene. Have they stopped brushing their teeth? Did you notice a lot of dandruff on someone who usually takes good care of themselves? 4. A higher threshold for humor. Is it harder to make them laugh? Do they no longer joke? In short, a healthy person always tries to stay composed. They maintain hygiene, dress well, work hard towards their goals, and socialize with friends and family. A person can suffer internally and not completely fall into depression, but that doesn't mean they aren't suffering. And what they feel inside will manifest outwardly in some way. Usually, at such moments, you get a suspicious feeling that something is wrong, but you don't know exactly what. It's all because, when appearing in public, the person puts on a mask to hide their problems. Thank you for watching. Have you noticed any signs of emotional instability in people? Tell us about it in the comments. And don't forget to watch our other videos. We strive to create interesting content for you.